No, no, it hasn't. It hasn't gone past 7 o'clock. I work off of a satellite timing instrument. It's 7 o'clock. It's a Friday. This is Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name's Danny. For the next 2 hours, I'm going to be sat here painting miniatures, being berated at by the live chat today. What is going on? What an incredible set of scenes to start the weekend off with. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. I'm having a great week. It's the weekend. Happy weekend, everybody. If you're new here, Easy 8 isn't a tutorial show or anything like that at all. It's really a place where you can come along, make some friends, get roasted. That's not normal, but maybe it is, I don't know. Paint some models with me for the next 2 hours live, because it's nice to know that somebody else is doing the same sort of stuff. Maybe they're having a struggle, maybe you're having a victory, maybe it's something you want to celebrate, etc. But it's just nice to make some friends. Friends, underlined, friends. And we stream every week in the UK, GMT, 7 until 9. None of this 7:01 business. 7. Alright? It says 7. Anyway, if you're painting something this evening, I'd love to know. I genuinely am motivated and inspired by the stuff that you do. So if you're working on something this evening, or just coming in for a chit chat and you've been working on something recently, come and tell me all about it. You can take photographs of it as well if you want to, and put them up on Facebook or on Discord at the Easy After Party, because both those places are pretty active, and I love to see the stuff that you do. So share it, be proud, etc. Or don't if you don't want to show photos of it. That's also okay. So yeah, if you like what we do, please do consider subscribing to the show, because subscribers are you. It's what makes the community grow. You are the growth of the community, and of course we all share in the love and the passion of this hobby. It'd be just great to kind of share it with other like-minded people who might be able to get a little bit something out of this show. Our subscribers are up and down and up and down, and that's always cool. That's always, it means that it's organic. It means that sometimes it's not the right thing for some people, but recently we've had some new people come along. So if you are some of those new subscribers, welcome to the show. I hope you actually find some value, some worth, some friends in the show, and just maybe some quality time where you can carve out a couple of hours every week, guaranteed, so you can get a little bit of hobby time, because I work full-time. I work really, really hard, around the clock. If it wasn't for this show is also just for me, you know. It's a place where I can come and make sure that I get a little bit of time spent painting my miniatures, because that's what I love to do on a Friday. So hit the subscribe button, because that's what makes my world go round. So yeah, if you don't hit the subscribe button, you're a loser. No, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. That's fine, but please, if you like it, give it a subscribe. Hit the little bell icon as well, because sometimes I mess up like I did last week and I pushed the wrong button, started another random video and didn't link it to this thing from Facebook. So yeah, sometimes I make mistakes. Hit the bell icon. Sometimes I do surprise videos too. Yeah, but whatever you do, just pause for a moment and go and hit the like button, the little thumbs up thing. You know what I'm talking about. I'll give you a second while I... Go on, you got it. Anyway, thanks for hitting the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that. What am I working on this evening, I hear you ask? Cool, I have been working on this guy for the last few weeks now. Not really a miniature. Takes mini out of miniature, doesn't it? But I did a lot of OSL on him last week. OSL, Object Source Lighting, for those people. And I've never really been good at it. And I wouldn't say that I'm good at it from last week, but I've certainly seen how ideas that I've been observing from other people out there on YouTube, other painters, and just tips and tricks and things like that. And it's starting to come together, it's starting to happen, and I'm really, really happy with what I've done here now. I've probably gone a little bit too far. I think it's interrupted the dark aesthetic over this dark angel, but it is nice to look at, it is cool. I've got a little bit of refining to do. I want to kind of make those colours pop a little bit more. I want to make it look like they're properly glowing. And then I'm going to get onto some crests. And do you know what? The end isn't tight with this. I've just got to do a few more etchy things with him. So anyway, you know what? Let's get straight to the workbench, shall we? Some comments anyway. The comments are going in. It didn't. It was in the 7 o'clock minute. Jim's friendly. Maybe he's the only one. Matt, if I count as friendly, then standards have dropped around here. Adrian says work in progress pickies of projects 12 and 13 are up on both Discord and the old Book of Face. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Still painting his Traitor Marine. Yeah. Some people really don't like the Dark Angels, do they? I've never really had an awful lot to do with them. I know that Adrian's a big devote. Never really had them. I like them, dislike them. But I was given this as a gift by my dad, Jeff, in the live chat. Thought I'd paint them up. And I've also just realised that I've said a couple of names, but I haven't actually given credit to who's there. Who have we got in the live chat? So see, that's what happened when you start by road. We've got Shiv from Table of Horrors. Hi Shiv, apparently you're friendly. We got Crumbs. Hi Crumbs. We've got Adrian. Hello mate. We've got Stafford. Cheers pal. We've got my dad Jeff. Those of you that didn't know, Jeff is my dad. Hi dad. And is that all we got for the moment? That is all we got in the moment. Hello guys. Welcome. Shiv says any learning gained purely coincidental. OSL. Yeah man, I'm really happy with it. It's really come out well, hasn't it? On my screen, his eyes a bit better. What I was saying about just kind of doing a little bit of a touch up on them. I was playing around with the eyes a little bit last week. I took a lot of the see that there is glow on the visor or around the faceplate that came out. I removed that glow. Brow of this thing. Step up, like when maybe the light isn't getting around or whatever, and it looked realistic. But this looked better, and both Shiv and I were on Discord. It was like I hate to say it, mate, but yeah. Did one eye. So yeah, I cleaned it all up. Because I'd gone through the green layer, that would have been. Anyway, I was able to re-establish that glow. Once I'd done that, it didn't. Inverted commas, hot zone around the outside, the brighter bit, which is basically white ink. So what you can see there is I've dropped a little bit of runny white ink in around the outside of those lenses, just to make sure that they're color coded. I want to just kind of keep it back in. I'm going to spray a little bit of that red back in there. One little blast into the eye, just see that white into the reds, which I'm really happy with. On his arm over here, because it's green, glowy lights. Now this is where I think that maybe I started to go a little bit wrong. This, perfect, couldn't be happy with. This over here, a little bit. The glow is fine. I was sitting there thinking maybe the two little buttons I've gone too far with them, but actually I quite like that. I like the fact that they're overly bright. In here, you can see that I've got the overspray glow effect. This is too. What I'm thinking of doing is getting a wash and just sort of paint over it a little bit. A wash so that colour sort of shows through. I want it to be a bit of a glow. And what I'm going to try and do, if I can, try and paint a sort of motion tracker on. Really good. The background of that aliens tracker is darker blue. Lines on it and things. That'll take a little bit of work. I'm not bold enough to back that right now, but that is something that I think that'll dial that down. Fun as well. Another bit that I just out attitude back of it backpack here. So I just decided that there would be, I don't know, hose attachment here, and a light here. I don't know, because he can see that light and it's really important for it to be there, but I do it anyway. And with that, I do a bit of light bouncing. Now that still looks kind of cool, but cutting out again. What is going on? So sorry. Let me just go and sort something out. Okay, I've changed my audio setup, my audio button or whatever. That might change things. Not having a lot of luck with microphones lately, am I? I do apologise. Yeah,
yeah, anyway, to make this look a bit more appropriate, what I'm going to do is just hit some of those hard corners. So maybe the corner up here, the edge highlighting if you like, maybe the edge here. Oh, try and get in shot. The edge here, with a bit of white, and then respray. Is that better? I'm too loud now. Wow, crazy. I'll pull that back a little bit. How's that? I pulled it back by about 5%. Is that any better? You tell me. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to hit these with some white edges, respray that colour, and it'll just make it look like that light's kind of collecting on those corners. It's a complete falseness in reality. Light doesn't hit harder on edges or corners. It just kind of makes it look more interesting. A little trick that I learned from people like El Miniaturista, who you'll find on Facebook and YouTube. The Source. It basically is like a very, very talented painter who does like a lot of videos, little snippet videos and lengthier videos, and he's so talented, and he's just a cool dude. Just a cool dude. I am not cool, and that guy is cool. And I just picked up all these little tips and tricks, and it's starting. I've been applying it for ages, and it's starting to come together. I'm starting to learn and to grow as a painter. One thing I haven't done yet. Let's not talk about that anymore. Right, I was going to try and do that yesterday. I did not have time. That is a nice cup of tea. So yeah, I also painted the crest on his arm, on his shoulder, white last week. A little conversation with Adrian, who Adrian knows the stuff about Dark Angels, says that this should be white and this doesn't have to be, but this should be white. And that's what I thought. So you can see that what I've done is I put a grey wash over it. That is my favourite. Get your drinks ready. Basilicanum grey wash. I put a mixture of water into it, 50-50-ish, and then slap that over. And that is soften that white down because it was very white. And it's created sort of, you know, optical textures, if you like. There's no physical texture to it, but it looks like that there's patination on there. And it's also ran into all the recesses and kind of picked out all those details as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to like re-establish the white on there, really pick that white back out again. And I might do a dry brush on it. I'm not really fond of dry brushing, but it might be the right thing to do, or I might do basically a bit of an ad hoc edge highlight on it. Then over here I'm going to do the same thing but in silver and gold. So all the feathers are going to be silver, the sword blade is going to be silver, and then you can see, if I point with my paintbrush again, this border trim that goes around at the top here. See that with little rivets in it, and it follows this bit around to here. That's all going to be in gold. The hilt of the sword will also be in gold. Yeah. So it's their emblem turned into a crest on his chest. Who doesn't love a rhyme? Yes. So that is that. I'm also going to highlight the little grenade on his pouch because that needs doing. There's some little details on there, like little buttons and studs and things that are going to be brought out in silver. He's got like a little trinket, which is also like a little sword hanging from his pouch. And I'm just going to do that in silver, and I'm not going to worry about that too much. It's just a little thing. I don't want it to interfere with the whole concept of the model himself. So that is that. What I was doing just before we came online was so rudely interrupted by being roasted by the community. It's just giving the airbrush a little bit of a clean out, because at the end of last week I didn't do a good enough job at it, and the fluorescent colours that I've been using are quite aggressive. They're really sticky. So when I was like washing out my paint water, please use clean paint water folks, it was just stuck to the bottom of the glass. I don't know what it is about the fluorescent paints, but it really makes it quite difficult to clean. Normally I can use my Tac-Ax clamps. Hi John. to use as a bit of an ad hoc screwdriver to get the little gasket valve out of there. Can you see it in there? But it's not working this week, and I couldn't find my screwdriver. So I've got like a little Swiss Army knife style one, if it fits. If it fits, that's not the right attachment there. Because I got a little screwdriver, but I don't know what I've done with it. Can't find it. Let's see if this one fits. It's like a little filey thing. Will this fit? That is the question. The problem that I'm having is Nope, that doesn't fit. Okay, cool. Back to the clamps. The problem I'm having is that the paint that is in there dried is so sticky, I can't actually clean the airbrush out or get the airbrush gasket out to clean it properly. It's really jammed. And just before we went live, I just started loosening it. It is starting to move a little bit now. It just needs a really good clean. Do you know what I should probably do? Is I'll get a bit of neat cleaner in there, and that might loosen things up a little bit. Are you having any more problems with the audio, guys, or is that mic level good enough now? See a couple of people in there saying it's nice and lovely. That's good. Doesn't want to go, does it? I used the back end of the needle. It's got like a little grip on the back of it. I could see there was paint on that as well, and I just, with a bit of cleaner in there, I just push the needle backwards and forwards, and it might loosen up any of the crap that's in the gasket there, which might mean it's easier to open. Say more things about how your paint is paint, man. How dirty your paint is paint. What are you saying? Say more things about how dirty your paint is, paint man. Use fiber gel. As a man who struggles with his diet, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's good stuff, but I don't think it's appropriate for the airbrush. Wonder if I've got any other tools and things here that might be appropriate for trying to undo this screw, because my paint is dirty. Happy, Shiv? I don't know what the joke is, but whatever, it's making you laugh, that's fine. Got some flat tweezers there. That too big? Far too big, goodness me. Some weird little things there. How's that? Not the right shape. Okay, cool. Back to the Tacax clamps. I don't think I can clean it today. That's okay. I'm going to put a bit of cleaner in the airbrush, and I'm just going to run the needle through it. Oh my gosh. Or I'm going to throw my needle on the floor. I'm just going to push the needle in backwards and just shift any detritus that's in the paint chamber in there, or in the gasket. Incidentally, the gasket is not the worst affected thing by that paint. It's the nozzle. So I could probably get away with it today. I've only got to do a little bit of airbrushing. Okay. Definitely requires a screwdriver, that's for sure. Right, okay, let's get a little bit of cleaner into the nozzle, because that's quite gummed up as well. That's the important bit, really, the nozzle. So I use just like a sewing needle with a cork on it. Get a bit of cleaner in there, and then just scoot it around on the inside edges. And the needle that I'm using isn't big enough to go out the end of the nozzle. So I've got to be really careful about not forcing it through and basically just ruining the end. the nozzles are really expensive. You can buy them in sets with needles and gaskets and things, and they are unpleasantly expensive. Yeah, that's really clogged up in there. It's a nasty little paint, that is. So there's a lesson learned. If you're using fluorescent paints from Green Stuff World, which is specifically what I've been using, the colours are great. But my goodness, are they nasty to clean. Now you might remember that last week that I had a lot of problems with the paints, with the fact that they'd kind of set in the bottles. You really don't want to ruin your end. No, I knew it was you that was going to comment on it as well. They kind of set into, I don't know, just almost just like clay in the bottoms of the bottles, and it's kind of almost done it in here. So yeah, just be aware, man. Finger over the end to cover up the nozzle, give it a good blow, should create a blowback, which in theory should clear it. Yeah, that is one little on the fly method of cleaning. Problem is this is so sticky, can't even get the needle through it. It has like gone into one big clump on the inside. I can feel it. It's like tar. Oh my god. So sorry about that accent. Welcome to the Easy 8 cleaning show. John's joined us. Hi everyone, as usual, just stopping by, but I'll watch the show after work tonight. Hi John, thanks for coming along, mate. It's been too long. I say this almost every time that you appear in the chat. It's been too long, brother. Hope you're well. Yes, I was just mentioning your name a minute ago with Takax clamps. I wonder if anybody else remembers that joke. Maybe it's just me and you. Oh, it's in there. It's so thick. It is literally like tar from a riverbed. It's just unacceptable, and it's in my airbrush. Oh. Got some love there, John. That's nice, isn't it, mate, eh? Right, I think there's only one thing for it. I'm going to have to do a bit of an atomic clean on this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put it all back together again and just forcibly force it. Yeah, you heard me. That it's not even coming off the inside of the hopper. That's pure cleaner on the end of that thing there. And that's not... Yikes! Tough stuff. Blowback. Oh, Crumbs has got to leave. Shattered. See you all next week. See you later, Crumbs. Take it easy, mate. Sorry that you're so tired. We'll be here. You know we will. All is good, pal. If I have to keep doing this all night, I'm not going to sit here and just do a cleaning skit on the show. I'm literally just going to move on to doing crests and insignias and stuff. So if you get a bit bored watching right now, yeah, I feel you. I got you, man. This is not what we signed up for today. So I'm just going to clean the needle down because you can see it's all smeared up the side of that. Yikes, this is aggressive. I bet there's like pros out there flicking past on the show, seeing me do that, and are like, "Oh my god, that guy's such a noob." Yeah, man, you're right. You are right. Let's clean the end of the nozzle protector. Right, let's get this back together again, because I am not winning here. I might have to go into a sonic cleaner. Oh, clean the paint chamber out as well. Really? Come on, you're better than this. Well, I paid for the looks of the model, didn't I? Use the force, Danny. I've got it. I've got it. Right, cool. I'm just going to put it back together again. Bored now. The problem is the nozzle is still gummed right up, and what I'm hoping is going to work, and I'm going to be super gentle with it, is that by just pushing that needle forwards, I'm going to basically physically force any of the paint in there through the end. It's really not a good thing to do, but I'm kind of out of options, really. Well, there is one more, and I can stick the whole thing in the sonic bath, but that is not a means of an end tonight. So what you can see sticking out the end over there, that tiny little lump, is the end of the nozzle, and I'm going to try and push the needle through, and hopefully... Okay, the needle is present. Sort of. Oh my goodness, that is some hefty, gnarly stuff coming out of there. Do you remember earlier on I was saying maybe you got like a victory to celebrate, or maybe you got some struggles in your painting world? Yeah, man. We all get victories and we all get struggles. I'm having some struggles today, right? Anyway, let's push that all back together again. Screw that up, and I'm going to put some cleaner through it, and I'm just going to see if that is enough. I'm going to put neat cleaner through it. I ain't messing around today. How not to look after your airbrush over, Danny, while you're drinking paint water. Yeah, right. I did clean it, but it must have... Oh, my screen just cut out and then came back in again. That was a bit weird. If you're getting any problems with the quality of the show today, do let me know. I just turned my compressor on and my screen went black. Yeah, I ran a cleaning cycle through my airbrush last week, but it must be that the paint dried inside it and was enough just to kind of let the water or the cleaner come through. It's like my airbrush has got like arterial build-up. Out of interest, when you use a sonic cleaner, do you use anything specific to clean it, and how long do you put it in for? I put it in for a cycle. Mine is a very cheap machine. It is right here. We could talk about it later on Discord if you like. I want to get a better one because I think it's just cheap, nasty stuff that I got from Amazon or something. Like proper, decent sonic baths are like super duper cool. I just put a drop of washing liquid, washing detergent in there. So that's all you need really. But like jewelers, when they're cleaning watches or rings and things like that, they got like a special sort of cleaner, and you see like videos on YouTube because I'm that kind of a guy. It looks like a blue liquid in there, so some sort of special cleaner. Okay, look, I'm able to put fluid into this airbrush, and it's forcing out nice and easily. Put a bit of water through it and see what happens. It's coming out quick, which is good. That means I might be able to get on and do a little bit of airbrushing this evening. Yeah, that water's shifting through, isn't it? That is good. This is all good. Listen to that sound change. That's how I know that the hopper is empty. Cool. Well, let's just hope that the paint is good enough. Because if you remember last week, that was a dilemma in itself. If this isn't do it, I'm not going to bother. Michael and Stephen have both joined us. Hello, gents. How are you? I hope you are well. I have not spoken to you properly for ages. I miss you intensely. That paint is good. Right. Let me get a drop of that in here. I know I should probably thin it after the problems that I've got, but it'll be too uncontrollable. So, literally, a drop. There we are. Because all I need is just to get a little bit on those lenses, just to take the harsh of the white away, and just to key that back into the red colour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take his backpack off at the same time. That's going to help me with the yellow on the back there in a minute, but it's just a bit easier to hold. Come on, there we go. Lovely. Right, do you know what? Flow test on a piece of paper. Don't be silly. I miss you so much, my ovaries hurt. Okay, it's going to be one of those evenings then, is it? Right, gotcha. Right, we've got a good flow here. On the airbrush. The live chat is being a bit awkward, if I'm honest, in terms of flow. That works perfectly. And now, in comparison, I can see that the other eye, that is very white. So yeah, this is absolutely the right choice. Love it. Excellent. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time with that. Let's get that out of the paint chamber. I'm definitely going to put some cleaner through that now, aren't I? We're all innocents in your mind. Yeah, of course it is, mate. Let's put some 50-50 cleaner water in there. Is it wine o'clock yet? Yes. Why are you asking? Right, let's get my yellow fluoro paint. It's a yellow orange, really, not a yellow. Do a quick test of that on the palette, see what it's coming out like. Okay, that's a good colour as well, but I don't want to go and put that straight on. What I want to do is I want to hit the edges here with a little bit of white. So I will use a little bit of ink because the ink's got the vibrancy and it's got the right sort of texture. The white paint that I've got isn't very good. It's quite lumpy. Even if you thin it down, it adds a texture to everything. So literally, I'm just going to put a drop of this white ink, undiluted, in the palette there. I'm just going to put that straight on the brush and just hit some of those hard edges with it. Excellent. And I will use this brush. There we go. Lovely. Now it's an ink, it's super runny, so hopefully it's not like going to run everywhere straight off the edges that I put this on. All I'm going to do here, it's probably too much on my brush, I'll be quite soft with this really. I'm just going to hit the edges here. So light is coming in from this direction. And all I'm going to do that is literally it. I don't want to go any more with that really. I'm just going to make sure that this white is nice and opaque because it's an ink. it's gone on a little bit thin. So make sure those edges are nice and defined. And I'm going to respray the same colour in a minute, and obviously that little white edge is just going to give it a little bit more pop. Now if it was a single pose miniature, i.e. I've glued it all in place, I'd probably do a little bit of spray up here as well onto his helmet, because, you know, why not have some fun with it. But because he's posable, I don't want like to be light on there and then change his head direction, and then yeah, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Should I do anything here? Yeah. Get the idea, right? Don't want to go crazy with it, there's no need for that. Just some little edges. Lovely. Let's have a look at the live chat. Steve says it's 1 o'clock in his house. Just thought I'd ask. I've been drinking it for an hour. It's always 1 o'clock somewhere. That somewhere is here. Wine is not permissible until live streams have been liked. Everyone should like this. Do you know I can track the likes on my phone, which I've got just over here? How many likes? Not enough likes, everybody. Not enough likes. No drinking can commence. Unacceptable behaviour. There you go. Right, let's get some yellow paint. The airbrush. Where's it gone? There it is. Again, just one drop. Try and get it right into the bottom of the paint chamber rather than on the side of the hopper. It's blue. There we go. The reason I try to get it into the paint chamber and not on the hopper is because it's quite a sticky paint. And if it sticks to the side of the hopper, it doesn't track down far enough. A quick flow test here. There it is. It's there. Okay, let's do it on this bit here first. So all I'm trying to do now is just get those white edges really, but not adding more of a corona over here. I still want to make sure that the light, the light source is still there, but this one's a little bit thinner paint than the red, so it's going to take a second to recolour that white. Okay. Didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but it still looks cool. Right, I'm going to try and cover over his head there. Is there a better way of covering over his head, I wonder? It's like a post-it note or something that I don't have nearby. Nope, I suppose I'm just going to have to use my finger. Okay, cool. It's very watery. I might have to give the paint a bit more of a shake, maybe. Do you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit here and faff around. No. Time for a hand waz. Am I going to be going to the Legionary show on the 10th? I'd like to be, but I don't know what my rota is at the moment. Work is demanding. I'd love to go. It's around the corner. If anyone's interested, the Legionary model show in Exeter on May the 10th. I think it's open both days. Is it open both days? Maybe the community will tell me. Is it open Saturday and Sunday? So yeah, I'd love to go. I like just going to support those little shows. Really, it's always wonderful to go and see all the people, the traders, etc. See familiar faces, see new faces. If you're interested in going, it's a nice show, and I've been told that they do the finest breakfasts on the model circuit. So go check out Legionary. I can't tell you about the best breakfast on a circuit because it's in a cattle market, so the thing that makes it really good is sausages, and I'm a vegetarian, so maybe the guys will tell you that it's a really good show, a really good breakfast. I don't know. Christudis has joined us. Waz! Hello mate, hope you're doing well, pal. Nice to see you again. Are you working on anything this evening? How's your week been? So many questions. Is it wine o'clock? Do you know what? When I was complaining about it not coming out right on the other piece, on the backpack there, it might just be because it was being too thin because I hadn't shaken it properly. So I'm going to go back in a second and have another go. Yeah, that's much better. Like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Do I need to do it on these little lights? I don't think so, so I'm not gonna. Cool. Don't overdo it, right? Right, excuse me while I clean the airbrush out again. Oh, look at that. The community's all giving each other lifts to all the model shows. That's lovely. I'll come too, if I can. Road trip! Excellent. Right, let's cut that off. That's really interesting. I've just turned off the compressor and my screen went black again. So if I hit the power on my compressor, it affects my monitor. That needs looking into. Crazy. So now, pop that back together again. Look at those eyes, burning with fury. Oh, I love that. Look at those hard edges in there now. Oh my goodness. Ah, that's so cool. Maybe a little bit too stark, but do you know what? I'm learning, and that's what this is all about. It's really good, isn't it? I like it. Actually got a little bit of overspray in the back of his helmet. I can't believe it. Okay, what I'm going to do very quickly there is I'm going to get my number 2 brush, which is nice and big, and I know this works, so I'm just going to take my time with it. I'm going to get a bit of neat cleaner on the brush, and I'm just going to gently wipe that spray away. It doesn't look bad, it's just not what I wanted. So yeah, can you see it in there? Oh my gosh, I saw it on the camera. Okay, I've got a bit of cleaner just on the worktop there. And because that paint hasn't truly set yet, it means I can get in there and just wipe it away. See how it's starting to take it away already? Now there is quite a layer of varnish on top of the green paint, and that is protecting it a little bit. But it's only so long that that varnish will hold off. I've got to be really careful. You see how thick that paint is? I only did a thin layer of it as well. Coming away in scoops. More cleaner needed. Like he's got earwax. Okay, and if I've got any yellow floating around in there later on, I can just come in with a little bit of a black wash and just hide it all away. What I'm doing now is I'm just very gently scraping away from the point, but with a needle, just dragging it in that recess and just picking out any of that agitated yellow paint, because it's been worn down by the cleaner, but it's just not been lifted out. And this is where I'll have a problem and end up like going through that varnish. So later on, it's probably a very important job for me to do, is to get in there with some varnish and give it another sort of layer of protection. Okay, cool, brilliant. Yikes, that was a bit hairy, wasn't it? It's only Saturday 10th, can't find out anything about Saturday and Sunday. Okay, cool, so go on the Saturday. It's a nice show. It's small and it's got everything you need, and I like that. Lovely. Right, let's talk about getting on to the white crest bit over here. I think. Oh, I don't know. Do I want to do a dry brush effect over it? The thing is, I haven't got any real proper dedicated dry brushes, and I know I'm going to end up getting white all over the shield. But it is the faster way of doing it, isn't it? Fast isn't necessarily what I need from this, though. Quality is what I need, and patience. So, going to get some Basilicanum Grey wash, and I'm just going to add a bit of water to it because it's a little bit here missed. See on the corner? What happened there is I've painted the whole thing, but it's just drawn back as it's dried, and it kind of just created that little bold patch there. I know I didn't miss it because I went over it quite extensively. I was quite careful about where I got the paint. It took me a little while to do it on Discord last week, talking to Shiv, So yeah, I can definitely say that is because the paint has receded, it's pulled away from the surrounding area. Oops. Okay, so I don't know if it's the right consistency or not, but I just want to kind of cover that up because it's kind of glaring, isn't it? I've watered that down a bit too much, maybe? Almost definitely. Let's try this. Better. There's a little bit in the back in there as well. Hard to see, but it's there. It's there. Okay, and clearly I need to let that dry. And then I'm going to come in and do some white effects over it. So the next thing really is the crest on his chest. Let's get his arms out of the way. It's time to start plotting some silver in there, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to do. Precisely that. Now the silver. Chainmail. Hoping that ironclad are there again. Dan Pulasicki. I literally run my department. I can't do that. Yeah, ironclad guys that sell all the resin cast stuff. I've still got a whole drawer of, I think a couple of drawers of rail sections to do. I ran out of steam on them. I definitely need to get back onto doing them. They make wonderful resin cast stuff. Go and check them out. Rightio, some silver then. I'm gonna put a drop of flow improver in there because silver gets claggy quite quickly, so by diluting it down, it's about a 50-50 there really. With some flow improver it'll make it a little bit more pleasant to use, and I think the reason it goes claggy quite quickly is because it dries quite quickly, so I could add some paint retarder, but at that point I'm probably going to get too thinned down, so I might add a bit more. I'm gonna do a bit more. I'm gonna add a couple of drops of silver, and then I'm gonna add a retarded medium drop as well. Yeah, that's nice. Oops. Now just stop it from drying out too quickly. Retarder mediums are weird stuff. It's like a hair gel, so you can't put a drop into it. You have to put it on the side and approximate an amount, but that looks good. Okie dokie. I'm going to go to my zero brush, and I'm just going to see what sort of consistency the paint's like. Is it a bit too thin? Is it a bit too thick? Just going to start getting it on there. Now I think I'm also, for now, I'm gonna paint that I don't know, that border in there as well in the same colour, and then paint the gold over the top. And that just means I don't have to spend all my time being dead accurate with silver and gold. I can just paint gold over the top of it later on, and that is a beautiful consistency of paint that I've got there. That is absolutely fabulous. I'm just going to spend the time, oh, a little slip there. Just going to spend the time just doing the top layer, and I've got to get all the edges on it as well. But I think it just looks nice, doesn't it? And you get a sense of achievement out of it if you just kind of do like one whole thing, and that one whole thing is going to be the front, and then you're going to have the picture, aren't you? Rather than me just doing these feathers for now, you know, edges and all, but having it all unfinished. There's a psychological game to be played here. Grant is going to Overlord Games, so I really need to leave my credit card at home. It's my favourite game. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? I like that. Felt easier to paint it from the side, so I think I might do that. Yeah, that just feels better. So the bit that I'm painting there doesn't appear to be part of the wing, it's just like, it's not part of the feathers. Should I paint that as gold, or should I just paint that edge there gold? I don't know. I think I want to keep it silver. What do you guys think? That looks nice, doesn't it? Looks quite white if I get it in the reflection, but you can see it is silver there. What are your favourite 40k weapons, and do you have a Blood Angel's name? Interesting question. I like brown. Love that. Thanks, mate. So helpful, Steve. Brilliant. You can tell it's 1 o'clock in the Jenkins house, can't you? Right, I'm going to do all edges in a minute, but that is the silver on the front edges done. Obviously the side edges, the edges need doing, so yeah, that will do that after the break, because we're going to have one of those in a minute. Probably perhaps should have one now, being the fact that it's now 8 o'clock and normally we go like 5 to, but whatever. I'm going to also take this opportunity to paint this little trinket hanging from his little purse, whatever it is, carrying all of his space coins, whatever. What is it they used to use as money in Star Trek DS9? Because you got the Ferengi bar there. Can you remember what it was that they used to use? Gold press latinum. I love DS9. Right, do you know what? I'm going to have a break. I'm going to do it, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. So, yeah, there you go. I'm going to go and grab myself a grown-up juice because everybody else seems to have done it. I love Dax. Nectar points. Yeah, that would be brilliant. So funny. Yeah, fair enough. Right, cool. I love Dax too. Got a cat outside called Dax who's meowing at me. I can hear him, so I'm going to go and see what he's up to. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Go change your paint water, get an adult juice. See you in a bit. Bye! Nectar points. welcome back. Hope you had a good break. I went and got myself some liquor 43 because drank all the vodka basically. Not all in one go. I mean, drink responsibly, kids, but it's Friday, the weekend is here. Happy weekend, everybody. Cheers. Have that stuff neat. It is delicious. Let's get rid of that cup. I don't need that anymore. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful weekend so far. I'm starting to get I'm strides, bounds and strides with the model so far. Having a really good time doing it too, which is great. If you're working on something this evening, do come and tell me all about it. Take photos, stick them up on Facebook, put them on the Easy 8 after party on Discord. Tripping over my own words. Wow, that is good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, please put photos up. That'd be great. I want to see it all. I'm motivated and inspired by the stuff that you do, so that'd be great to see. I was making my mouth water. So, if you like what we do here at Easy 8, please do consider subscribing to the show. You are the subscribers, you are the show, you are the community, and we get bigger, we get better if you subscribe and get other people to come along and subscribe. Maybe you know someone who might be interested in this and might benefit from a community like this. To get all their stuff painted on a Friday evening. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? For them, for me, for you, for everybody. Cool. Yeah. How is it going? How is your stuff going? There's been lots of talk about stuff being painted this evening. I'd love to hear about it, so let's get talking about it. Silver's Scratch Built Productions has joined us this evening. Hi, Silvers. How's it going? I don't know how to shorten that. Silvers or Scratch Built or Scratch Productions, SSBP, SPUB. That's a good name. I'm going to go with that. I'm just going to call you Silver. What have you got? I have some 30k Terminators and Marines for my Dark Angels, and that's going to make Stafford happy, isn't it? Stafford is saying that he's got a German army currently play What a Tanker, but I'm trying to get in the flames of war. Yep. Gotta love some of those Grey Knight models. Oh, we've got some Grey Knights going on as well. Fantastic. Silver's going to be painting Grey Knights and Dark Angel characters together. Okay, cool. Then you'll love, absolutely love, my giant Dark Angel, which is coming on a treat this evening. I'm really, really happy with it. So enough banter here. Let's get back over to the workbench. Just go! Oh, I'm going to have another drink of that because it's too good. Drink responsibly. Call me Silver. Gotcha. Not Spoop. Totally sorry. Right, I'm going to paint the face of this in gold now. I was going to paint it silver a minute ago, but I realised I didn't do that. That's fine, I don't care. What gold to use? I've been using brasses and things a lot lately on like my Martians. What are they called? What do we call them now? Adeptus Mechanicus. Thank you, my Skitari. But I think I'm just going to go in with a good old gold and just see where we are with that. I'm not going to thin that down. There's only a little bit to do here. Right, where's my brush? There it is. That's my 0. Let's see what this does to the aesthetics of the whole model. Brassy brass, yeah, I love a bit of brassy brass, but I just wanted some classic colours here, really. I can see that that looks like it might be the right choice. I can just see that looking right. I wonder if that shows on your screens there as well as it does on mine. It seems to be the right move. Classic colours. Could do with thinning it down actually. So I'm gonna. If I'm thinking about it now, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna waste any time. Just a little bit of flow improver in there for now. Don't care about anything else. Go on, let's get that in there. Thank you. Yeah, that's done it. The world of good that has. Diluted it right down though, so I'm just gonna put another drop of paint in. There we are. Lovely. one of the things I've noticed with gold is its pigmentation, its ability to cover, isn't as good as silver, at least with the paint ranges that I use, and just means you've got to spend a little bit more time doing a couple more layers. The silver seems to have covered quite well, and even if it's got a bit patchy in some areas, it'll be well hidden with a wash of black. I'll probably do like a black wash over all of this, and then come in and pick the edges out again. Might probably do an oil wash with it. Let's get those arms out of the way, please. But yeah, have to thin the gold down to get it to flow nicely, but it makes it that much thinner. Doesn't have the best coverage. Not the worst colour in the world for it. Looks nice though. I love the 30k Dark Angels Terminators. I just wish there was a bit bigger because I use them for my 40k Deathwing. Ah, okay. When you say bigger, you want them like just larger scale models. How do they compare to the new 40k stuff? Because they've just increased the scale of the Terminators in 40k in line with the Primaris Marines. Have they done a similar thing with 30k, or the Horus Heresy models, I should say? Has that been a thing? Or are you guys still in the older scale, the older size? And I wonder if the fact that would mean that it would be very difficult for you to use 40k Terminators with your 30k armies. I wonder if that factored into that decision at all. Gonna have to get a little brush out in a minute. I think that looks particularly nice. What do you guys all think? I was going to paint the handle or the hilt of this sword emblem a different colour than gold, but I think that's just unnecessary detail. The rest I'm going to have to do with my little tiny brush, I think, because it's all getting a little bit out of focus at this point. There's some nice details, isn't it? I like it. Pretty good. I think Firstborn versus Primaris Marines. Am I reading an answer to a question? The Califracted Terminators date back to the Battle of Calth box set game. Yeah, I just wondered if... I wonder if your answer is actually in response to my question at all. But I just wondered if, you know, that you could use the scale of Terminators of 40k to go with Horus Heresy now. Yeah, I don't know, just one of those things that popped into my head. I'd love to find a few boxes of that standalone game just for the miniatures 30k or proper scale so stuff. GW released them all separately now. Okay, so now you can get all the models for the Horus Heresy separate. That's good. It's had a really big reception, hasn't it? 30k or Horus Heresy as it's actually called. It's okay, I just love them and going to use them anyway because of the rule of court. Yeah, absolutely, and that's really, really important in any game you play. If you like the look of it, put it in there. No one cares, and no one should care, and if they do, get new friends. Yeah, you do you, boo. Right, little brush, here we go. That's a strong liquor. Wow. It's so sweet. Gonna go back into the silver there for a minute, because I want to carry on finish painting this little emblem, this little trinket rather, on the side of his. Oh, strong booze that. On the side of his little pouch here. Look. It's like a little chain link holding it in place as well. It doesn't have to be anything like particularly special. It's just a little detail, adds a little bit of character to it, doesn't it? They've got a penchant for sword emblems, insignia and trinkets and whatnot. Just thought I'd put my hand right in the silver or gold there, but that was all good. Okay. That'll do for this little trinket for now. I'm going to go and do, there's like little skull studs on there, and I'll do those at a later time. Today I'm really focused on getting the bigger picture done, so I'm going to add a bit of water to the silver because it is starting to dry a little bit, but it's okay for now. Just a little bit of water in there, just loosen it up a little. And now I'm going to just try and pick an edge here. I think I'm going to have to take that backpack off again. Just a little bit clunky in the hands. There we go. Pop that over there. Just means it's a little bit easier to hold. Look. And now I can get right into the edges here. Pull myself in close to the table. Whew. Quick check on some of the comments that are going in. Answering your question. Yep, cool. I make custom bases for all my painted miniatures so I can make the 30k Terminators taller with the base. That's a great way of doing it as well, yeah. For stabbing the Emperor in the back. Harsh. Yeah. I like making bases as a story carrying method. Like the base, if you want my opinion, is a way of like selling the character, selling the story. It sets the world and the world around him. So I like to really put a bit of thought into my bases. I don't know if I do it well enough, but yeah, I spend as much time on my bases often as I do with the actual miniature itself. It's a bit tricky. Add quite a bit of water to the paint in there just to make it a bit more supple. Yes, it'll be quite thin now, but it just means it'll flow that little bit easier. There's like a lip to the edge of these, like a little bit of sculpted texture, if you like, the way that the model's been made, and it's just preventing me from getting paint in there easy. And the problem with silver is if it escapes the boundaries of where you want it to go, it just gets everywhere. Make sure that I'm in shot there. Shiv says, you can use Indomitor's pattern in the 30k. There are official rules, but the size difference can be too stark for some. Ah. Is the Indomitor's pattern the new Primaris Terminators? Is that what they're called? And have they made them Primaris Terminators, or have they just upscaled old Terminators? I don't know. I haven't actually checked that out in the lore yet. Are they a new Terminator or a new Marine? Ooh, my face go warm because I'm focusing so hard. Lore-wise, every Terminator suit is thousands of years old and they cannot produce new ones. Though, tough luck Primaris, you guys won't fit. Yep, that's fair. They just brought out the new Terminator models and they look slick as. I just wondered if they were like Primaris Terminators or just rescaled Terminators. Well, that was quite tricky, that was. Right. Just a quick quality check there. Have I got all the edge? I think I have. Occasionally you find a little bit that you didn't get quite so well and it really stands out. But the edges have got two sides, so worked my way on the bottom edge of all those little feathers. Now I've got to work my way down the top side of them. Excellent. Edges on one side complete. Roughly. Cool. To the other side then. Is there a way to post pictures on your Discord? Yes, there are. There are many little channels down the side down there, and there's lots of different things that you can choose where to post them. A lot of people put things in work in progress because if they're working on something currently. There's also one in there for finished projects as well. Can't remember quite what that's called. It might be finished projects. You can put your photos wherever you want, and it will always highlight to every user where new stuff has gone in. So excuse me, myself and other people that are on there can go, oh, look, someone's put something in there, and I'm going to have a little look at it. It looks really cool. So yeah, wherever you want, mate. And if you're on Facebook, feel free to put it wherever you want, wherever you can. And Shiv says, give a reaction to the rules and you'll gain full access. There you go. Give it like a little thumbs up or something. That is a really strong liquor. Yikes. It's so yummy. Okay, bit more water to the silver, loosen it up a little bit. Lovely, lovely. Make sure I'm in shot. Enlarge my screen so I can see what's going on. There we go, that's better. You can tell when I'm concentrating, can't you? Ooh, it all goes quiet on this end. Darren's joined us. Hello, mate. Nice to see you again. How are you doing? Are you up to anything in particular? Or are you just coming in to chill out? Painting anything? Making anything? Stafford says, that's 3 more Panthers done, apart from the decals. I consider that done, sir. Well done. What camouflage have you done? Have you done it in that really funky one that you were showing me the other day? You got like a real pale yellow going, or the real dark, sort of stripy line camo. It looks really good. I really liked it. That's the underside of all of that done there. Or is it? Let's have a little look. Okay. Just trying to find the right way of access here. That shoulder guard really is in the way, and I'm glad I haven't got it on both sides. Didn't think it was going to be tricky to get in here, but it is. Darren says, been painting a 135th anti-aircraft gun crew. Photos or it never happened, please. Oh, I just realised I'm out of shot there. Sorry, folks. Still out of shot. Not doing a very good job here, am I? There we go. Silver, a notorious crawler. Let's get that before it becomes a problem, eh? Don't know where I got that. Must have been from my brush. Yeah, I think so. Cheeky. Have a quick check around, make sure I haven't got silver on him elsewhere, because that would be a pain in the backside. Lovely. Trying to put my finger in the right place here so I can use it as stability to paint, but everything's been painted or is in an awkward shape, so very difficult trying to find a place to rest that. You can see what I'm trying to paint here, can't you? So the edge of this sword icon here, just tucked in away, a little bit out of sight, a little bit tricky. If I don't get it, it stands out quite a bit. There we go. All that silver is now done, and I'm really happy with that. That is really, really good. That's gone really smooth. That's quite striking, isn't it? I love that. Shiv says, I'm trying to put my finger in the right place, Danny 2025. I knew it. I knew someone was going to pick up on that. I didn't think it was going to be you, man. What can I say? What can I say, huh? Right. Gold. Back to the gold. Let's get that blocked in properly. Now that Darren's joined us, Darren, what do you think of the OSL on the eyes in particular? Do they look glowy? I hope they do. What do you think of that? I've got a little bit of glow there, got a bit of glow on his arm. There's a lot of work to do on this little bit here yet, but I've also got some glow off the back of his backpack that shines across his back like here. What do you think of that? Does it look good? Always believe in yourself. That's a nice set of colours there. It's a nice trim. They stand out well from each other, don't they? Spot on, mate. Love the effect, says Darren. Thanks, pal. Wasn't seeking for validation. Was just literally after your opinion, and that's I really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Yeah, I'm still learning. Still got a ways to go to really get it looking really good. But for you know, I'm not going to say a first go because I've had a couple of shots at it, but for a near first go, I'm pretty happy with it. You're nailing it, mate. Looks brilliant. Oh, stop it with the kind comments already. I really appreciate that, pal. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know how to kind of get better at it. Like I've clearly got the right technique. Just in my application to improve it. I look at some people's stuff out there, and like they're doing exactly the same thing I am, but when they do it, it just looks better. That's not to say that I'm not happy with what I've done. I am very happy with what I've done. In the world of perfection, you should never achieve it. Excellence is the pursuit of perfection. That once you've found perfection, you have failed. That's my own quote. It's how I lead my everyday at work mostly, and yes, I believe that perfection should never be achieved. Perfection should be unachievable, but excellence is the pursuit of perfection. If you think you are perfect, you've got no room to grow anymore, and that is sad. So yeah, I watch some people do it, and I just think, wow, that's really cool. What do I have to do now to improve on what I already am doing, which is really good? What steps do I need to take to make it that much better? I don't know. Difficult question to answer, isn't it? You'll often find you are your own worst critic. Yeah, and you know what? I'm not negatively criticizing my own work today. Often I will sit there and go like, oh, that's not great. What can I do? And everybody else is like, oh man, it's so good. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. No, I admire what I've done today, or this week and the last. But how can I make it that much better? If you catch me drift. We are anyway just a few minutes out now from the end of the show. We've got about 10 minutes left, so if there's stuff that you want to talk about, or just discuss, bring up, question, answer, I suppose now's the time, really. Yeah, this gold. Oh, I had one of those little hand flicky moments where I just had paint on the end. My brush went near his face, but no, it's all good. Forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, this gold. I'm so bad memory. This gold is really thin, and I'm definitely going to have to come in with a second coat of it. I said with the silver earlier on, where it's a bit patchy, I could cover it up with an oil wash, or a wash of any kind really. But the gold, I think it would still be patchy. So I'm getting this layer in here, with a view to do another one over the top of it in a bit. This is coat number 2, so there's going to be 3 coats of this, and there was only 2 needed with the silver. Finally got to talk face to face with another artist who licks his brush. I'm not saying I agree, I'm saying I understand. Who was this artist, please? I lick my brush. I don't do it an awful lot. I try to get the paint to do it for me. Because what is it that we're trying to achieve by licking the brush? It's a really interesting topic of discussion, really. What is it we're trying to achieve? We're trying to bind the bristles into a fine point or a fine shape, aren't we? If you can get the paint, the texture of the paint to do that for you, no longer do you have to poison your mouth with foul-tasting products. But yeah, I've done it for years myself. I found that with synthetic brushes, which are harder to maintain a shape with, that I end up like making the shape with the saliva on my tongue and then dipping it into the paint and trying to maintain that shape there. But with a high quality sable brush, I'm able to just kind of like here now, if I just pull my palette over here, dip it into the paint, just get a good coverage from side to side there, and now I'm rotating the brush and drawing it backwards as I do that. And you can see that leaves a little bit of paint there, so it evens out how much paint I've got in the bristle, so I'm not going to put too much payload in, but you can see here that I've got a decent amount in there. It's not all the way up to the ferrule, there's a little bit of a gap in there. I do clean my brushes regularly, so yeah, I've got quite a good point on that. The consistency of your paint has got to be viscous enough that it maintains the point, like a hair gel, I suppose. If it's too watery, it's not going to have that binding property, but if it's too thick, yeah, it's you know, you're not going to transfer that paint from Bristol to model really. So yeah, there is a fine balance to it. And yeah, I still do look at my brushes from time to time. That is more than I should do probably. Yeah, happy with that. That looks really good. I was wondering if it was going to look a little bit too rubbish, really. But I really like that effect. And I think that with a nice, even and gentle oil wash with some black, I think that will come out really, really well. I am tempted to use like an ochre colour, like a dark brown over the top of it, but I think black is the right way to go. I'm not trying to make it look grimy, which is what ochre will do. I say ochre, burnt umber rather. I think that would make it look dirty and grimy. I just want to add depth to it. I want to add the shadow. I want to pick up those recesses a little bit, and then I can go back in with a bit of the two colours here, just pick out those edges to make them look a little bit stronger again. But that is really nice. I really, really like that. It's all coming together, innit? I really, really like it. I think what I'm going to do now is just let those metallics set. I'm not going to put any oils on them right now. For the next few minutes and going into Discord, I think what I'm going to try and do is do a little bit of a screen on this arm here. I'm going to just put a very, very gentle navy wash over the majority of that screen. Maybe around the outsides a little bit, kind of blending out the corners a bit perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. Make it look like the light's coming from the middle. Make it look a bit of like an old-fashioned CRT screen, but it's clearly going to be digital, like a LED or LCD or something, isn't it? But I just want to make it look like a darker screen, so it's not so vibrant on his arm, and then I can put a real nice image on it, like a motion tracker from Aliens. That'd be really cool. Pop that back on. Go. That looks really cool in there, doesn't it? I like that. I do need to probably tone that yellow down. That white down just a little bit more. But those eyes are absolutely banging, aren't they? Brilliant. I love it. I love the whole thing. It's looking really good. The whole ensemble as well. That knee's looking really cool. Those pouches are looking fantastic, considering that I think that I really kind of ruined those, to be honest with you. That shoulder is going to be the next bit there. Really, it's going to really pick out the white on that. Yeah, it's all coming together. I like it. And of course, one of the crowning touches is going to be the bolt rifle, which has got quite a bit of work to do in it. All I've really done there is blocked out the colours. Yeah, that's that, isn't it? That red could do with a bit more coverage. I should have airbrushed it really, but it would have been very difficult to get the silver in some places. There's quite a bit of silver, for example, in here, because it looks like that this is a case that fits over the whole metal body that probably runs all the way through it. You've got these rivets on there, and I'm speculating it's a fancy make-believe gun in space that doesn't actually exist. Now, I understand what I'm talking about, of course, and how rubbish it sounds, but these rivets are obviously bolting the cases to the metal, let's call it receiver, shall we? So that in there definitely needs to be silver, and if I could, maybe in there as well. If I sprayed all this red, trying to get that silver in there without getting it on the red would be very, very tricky. So I had to spray it all silver and then hand paint the red on. The red, as we all know, hasn't got the best pigment coverage ever, so trying to get it on there has created elements of texture. So my way around that, of course, is to spray the whole thing red and do the silver by hand, starting again effectively. Or I think what I'll do is I'll just carry on layering up the red, and then I'm going to like apply some gloss varnish to it by hand, and that should act as a self-leveler, just a layer or two, just to take the edge out of all of that texture, basically. Not going to spend like crazy hours on it or anything like that at all, but yeah, I think it will look quite nice. And then if I do on that what I've done with this pattern here, which is apply the basilicon and grey wash drink, I think it will blend it away and kind of lend into the whole aesthetic. But it's starting to look, isn't it starting to look really good? That red really needs to dial back a little bit as well. You can see it's patchy, can't you? Anyway, looking good, right? Thanks for the stream, says Shiv. Mate, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you for coming along to the stream. Shiv says, when you learn what some companies use for pigments, you'll never lick a brush again. Yeah, don't tell me. I'm a vegetarian now, and I know it's going to cause me nightmares, right? Anyway, May the 4th, it's Star Wars Day, obviously. May the 4th, comment, are you interested in going? Yes, and yes. Yes, I think I actually have my calendar for that then as well. Thank you for reminding me. I'll come away from the workbench and we'll talk about that in a second. I'm just going to have a look at all the other comments in here as well. Just twist the brush and remove the excess paint. Yeah, that's what I was doing, wasn't it? Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Brush soap made a world of difference for even my budget brushes. Yeah, I use this stuff. Tell me you use the same stuff too. It's amazing. I'm going to do it now while we're talking about it. So it's pretty dry in there at the minute. So what I do is I just get a little bit of water and then just work it into the brush a little bit. Don't saturate the brush too much, but I do go in with quite a bit of water. And I swivel the brush around in my fingertips like this. Yeah, at the same time, it's just whirling it around the outside, and you can see it's leaving like yucky deposits in there. And I clean that brush out with water, yeah, and I do that after every session. And then give that a bit of a whiz around, a whiz-o-matic, if you will. And then I've got all the soap in the bristles there, and then nice and gently I pop that on the workbench. And what I do is I work that around and massage it into the bristles a little bit. Using the friction from the table to loosen off anything that is in the bristles. By applying a little bit more direct force and angling the brush down a little bit, you get a nice bit of bristle splay, and then just a little bit of shifting around, and I just gently tremble it backwards and forwards, and that should hopefully agitate any of the dried paint that's on the open bits of the bristles, especially in the middle of the brush head where you can't normally get from the outside. Give it a bit of a wiggle, rotating it around, rotating it like this, yeah. Just work it out, and I am doing gentle backwards and forwards. I don't go crazy with that motion because I don't want to damage the direction of the bristles, which, yeah, if I was dragging it forwards all the time, definitely would. But I just kind of want to, irritate and agitate any of the built-up paint that's in there. And while I'm kind of going around like this, that forwards motion is starting to push that soap up into the base of the ferrule, which is where the paint will collect. And you're not going to stop it, especially if you're watering paints down. It's going to just draw up inside with capillary action. So you're going to get it, and it won't like happen immediately. It will build up over a couple of paint sessions. And so what I do is I water down that soap, and I kind of get it into a real watery lather. And I'm just kind of working it around. And I also put a little bit of pressure into the base of the ferrule, trying to get that in there. And I do this a couple of times with some of the bigger brushes because they hold quite a bit of paint, right? And you're trying to get all that loose up paint. And sometimes when you're doing this, you'll be really surprised how much you get out of it. And sometimes I even soak it in a little bit of like neat cleaner, just to loosen off anything that's maybe got inside after like a heavy painting session, or if I forgot to do it once or twice. I'll have a little bit more build up in the bristles. And what I'll do there, if I just dry all that soap out of it now, you can see that bristle's really, really clean now. What I'll do is I'll get a little bit of neat cleaner. This is for the airbrush. I'll just put like a fingernails size dollop on the tabletop there, and it will start like leaching out all over the place because it's alcohol based. And I'm just gonna push that into the brush, and again I'm just gonna give it a bit of a wiggle around on here. Again, still being gentle, don't want to damage those bristles. And that will really, with any kind of agitation now, so it's really gonna really agitate and shift anything that's kind of really built in there, anything aggressive and sunk into the ferrules. I can see now that the base of the ferrule is even cleaner than it was a minute ago. I don't do that all the time because it's expensive with cleaner, but also it's aggressive on the bristles, right? And the whole point of a soap is it is a conditioner at the same time. So now that I know I've cleaned that out, I clean all the cleaner out of the bristles. I want to condition my bristles now, so a bit of water, preferably clean water obviously, and now I do the same thing. And I like to keep the surface of the soap clean so I can see what's coming out of the brushes as well. I said it's not a tutorial show, but every now and again maybe you learn something, I don't know. This is just what I do. I'm not saying it's the way to do it. I'm not telling you how to clean your brushes. This is just one of those little habits, little routines that I've picked up in. Yeah, and I know that there's probably going to be no paint that comes out on this. What I'm doing is I'm just getting that conditioning soap into the bristles. I am going to obviously get a little bit of whatever alcohol might be left in there. And now, not only is this a soap, it is also a preserver. It says it right there on the tin. So with this clean suds here, maybe a little bit extra in there, I'll just work a little bit in. There we go. Doing exactly what we were talking about a minute ago with the paint. Swiveling the brush, twisting it and drawing it backwards at the same time. I like to use the crease in my hand and draw it out to a bit of a point, rotating it as I pull it backwards, and it keeps the shape of it. And I'll let that dry now, and probably but you know how busy I've been, that will stay like that all week, and that just helps preserve those bristles. And when I pick it up next week, it's almost rock solid, so I have to put in a bit of water because it's soluble, agitate it, clean it off a couple of times, and it just means that my brushes are being protected, and I'm always looking after them. These are £15 brushes, so I want to look after them, right? So yeah, that's my number 2. That's my big brush there. So that's what I use. I can see Chris Lewis has put yes, hopefully because he said yes. That's oh no, yes, thanks. Oh, yes, thanks for the show. Oh, you're welcome. I thought you were saying yes, that is the cleaner that I use. Maybe it is the cleaner you use. It's fabulous stuff. I used to use stuff from Green Stuff World. I had a cleaner and I used it in combination with this repair gel. This is really good for those budget brushes, and it literally is a gel in a pot. This is the substance that manufacturers of paintbrushes use to make sure the heads of their brushes stay safe and rigid in transit, in packaging. So I used to use a cleaner and that. This does both and you know, conditions it at the same time. So, you know, lots of different products, the same sorts of things. Thanks, Danny, says Staff. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for coming along. Let's get out of this crazy place. It's looking so cool. I'm really into it. Just look at the thing that I have created. Isn't he wonderful? That glow on those eyes is looking really good. See, here in the shadow, the OSL isn't overbearing at all, is it? So it is really about the environment that you put it in. I love that. It's really good. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing a nice little number on that arm screen, sleevey screen, on the sleevey screen, not the silver screen. Shut up, Danny. Right, okay, cool. Clearly I've had enough. Guys, I hope you've had a wonderful evening. I hope you've got loads of painting done. I hope it's been a cracking time for you. He would have looked better in red, maybe, but people might have wondered about the crest on his shoulder and on his chest, so maybe not. Maybe he would have been taken away and shot, as he should be. No, I'm kidding. I like the Blood Angels too. That is lovely. Yeah, I hope you had a great evening. Remember, please like, share, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. It's so sweet, that stuff. It makes me dribble. It's crazy. Silver has put, love it. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. If you've been working on something this evening, please take photos of it, stick it up on Facebook, put it on Discord, put it on both, so that everybody can see it. We've got some... I'm going to crowd that off. Just buy a Blood Angel, pal. Some people use Facebook, some people use Discord, and not the other way around. So put photos up everywhere. Share your stuff out there so people get to see it. If you want to show it, of course, you don't have to. Yeah, and that's it for now. Looking forward to next week. I will be here next week, same time, same place. And that's it for me, really. Yeah, I felt like I was going to say something else. Oh, we were talking about Combatant, weren't we? Yeah, May the 4th. If you are local to where I am, here in North Devon, the Combatant Combat Collection... I haven't been since I was a kid, and it is literally 10 minutes around the corner from me. Why, for art thou, have I not been? I don't know why. So, yeah, me and some of the guys, as you can see, are really planning on going. If you're interested in coming down, even if you want to, just come down from further afield, I work in... hospitality, so I might even be able to set you up with some accommodation if you wanted to. Don't hold me to that. That's not me promising anything. I might be able to. So get chatting to me in Discord if you want to. Silver just said he's put some pictures on Discord. That's great. So yeah, we've got Tank Museum stuff coming up later on in the year. We've got Combat Collection. We've got Legionary show in Exeter on May the 10th. Loads of exciting stuff to look for. Let's keep the conversations going on over on Facebook and on Discord so that all the different people can see it all going. And in the meantime, I will see you next week. And until that time, stay safe, be kind, keep on painting, get some colour on your grey, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye. The big Easy 8 sleepover. It's not happening. Or maybe it is. But it's not. But maybe it is.